Hey guys, welcome back to Just Carve Rob. What are we doing today, Rob? Well, we're carving Bigfoot faces today. That's what we're doing. Here's our next one. This is one we just got done with. Side view, front view, side view. Big old knot in this piece of wood, so I don't know if it's going to run all the way through it or not. But as I was digging in, I hit it here first, and then as I was carving the nose, got that. It looks like pencil, but it's actually a knot in the basswood. Something you don't run into too often. Knots in basswood. So, he's looking that way. So that's one. Now we're going to turn him over and we're going to carve. He's a happy one. Going to be a sad one. Yep, we're going to give him a sad. Maybe give him a sad. We'll make that up, that bottom lip come way up. Like that. I just kind of drew it on there. But anyway, let's get to the carving part of this. We will be using cordless Apex Forge rotary tool. Don't matter where you shut this off. If you turn it all the way up and shut it off, turn it back on, it will start back off on medium speed. So, okay. And we will also be using the Apex Forge with our Dremel handpiece here. We have the Kutzall Extreme Burr, Flame Burr in here. We're doing all the blocking. And then we have the Saber-Tooth Fine Yellow Burr right here. So it goes fine for yellow, coarse for green, and then they have a orange extreme and white super fine. We don't have those. Okay? So let's turn on the noisemakers and get this party started. We'll start off with this guy, see how he works out. The only thing I don't like about this so far, and I haven't used it, this is my first time, but it doesn't have a removable battery. You actually have to plug it into a C port. It's a C port dock thing to charge it. This is my Dremel handle. Okay, I just put it on here so that it's might be a little more controllable. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as we move through this carving. All right, so hang on. Here we go. All right, so we're going to start off with this cordless Apex Forge. Seems to have power. Hard to hold on to. That little handle helps out a lot. And we're basically just going to block this guy in with this rotary tool. This will be part 1 of 2 for this guy. Seems to, one-handed, seems to have plenty of power. We'll get that using that Kutzall Flame Burr Extreme to shape the sides in. Give them a little hairdo. I was talking to Jordy Johnson over there at Carbon Fusion. He was saying that this guy ended up looking like Elvis Bigfoot. Blue suede shoes. You don't wear shoes, Bigfoot. They don't make them big enough for you. So you can see we're just getting some shaping done. A little bit on the fuzzy side, this wood. Get a little flip on his hair there, a little flip on the other side. And we just work it. Yep, that's good. Okay, now we're using the Apex Forge again. I believe this is the M6 corded version. Kind of like a Dremel rotary tool. We're using the Dremel handpiece on it. We're using the Saber-Tooth yellow. I believe it's their fine. To do a little roughing. This isn't really a taper burr. It's kind of more like a straight burr. And we're framing the face in. Right, Kevin, over there at Sticks and Stones? Framing the face in. Say hi to Kevin over at Sticks and Stones. Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion. You can see that as we're cutting this, we're not perpendicular or straight on with the wood. I'm holding it on a little bit of an angle towards the outside. If you go straight in, you'll end up undercutting your nose, and you don't want to undercut your nose. You'll end up making a really, really small nose. Working the forehead back, leaving that clump of hair stick out on the front there. Shaping the nose. Trying to keep that burr angled away from the nose. You can always come back and make it smaller, but we don't want to undercut it. Leaning the nose back. And working that in. I made one mistake when I was carving this. I cut the smile lines in for the barrel of the mouth a little too quick and a little too deep. So beware of that when you're doing this. You might want to leave your smile lines until the end, or until get ready to do the mouth. If you go jump ahead like I did, you could end up carving too deep. Okay, so now we have the Oz Plus with the Kutzall Gold Taper Burr, which is their fine. Kutzall Gold Taper Burr that we're using here to get rid of some of the heavier cuts from the saber-tooth fine. Dig in a little bit there in the corners of the nose, working under the eyelid or the brow there. And we're just going to bounce around here. We're pushing that framing of the face back further. To give us a little more room with the face and for the eyes up top there. Because we really got the bottom jaw. This guy is huge. Now we're cutting the nostril in, or the wing of the nose. Nostril flare. And zoomed in a little bit. Getting that cut in there. Cutting under the nose. Alongside the nose. And we're shaping the nose. Say hi to Kevin over at Sticks and Stones. Sean Brook at Pen on Fire and Carving. Say hi to Spike and Evil Rick. Bap over there at I Can Carve. Kutzall Gold Fine Taper Burr. That's what we're using. We're running this at about 30,000 RPM on the Oz Plus. They do make a couple different varieties of this tool. This happens to be the Oz Plus brushless handpiece. And the 1/8 inch shaft gold Kutzall burr. Getting that cleaned up a little bit. Keep working it. It's basically you're just making it. I always go in, I make everything big, and then whittle it down to the size I want in the end. Because carving is a subtractive art. You're always taking away. It's very hard to add wood back once you cut it off. I mean, you can get away with using fillers and epoxy and that stuff, but always make everything a little bigger than it should be, and then work it down into where I need it. You see that big poof of hair on top of his head started out really big, and we've just narrowed it down, and we push it back, expose more forehead. And push that forehead back up underneath the hair. Working that eyebrow. Switching over to the Kutzall or no, sorry, the flex cut knife, 1.5 inch blade, detail knife to clean up some of the fuzz. Do a little, I like the nice sharp lines that the knife leaves. Do a little undercut in there to give us some shadow. You can see the shadow coming out from the hair. And we're just going to work around with this knife and clean up the rotary tool marks, basically. You can see it's easy to tell where you've carved with a knife and where you haven't carved with a knife, right? All the white stuff is where we haven't carved yet to clean up. So basically that's what we're using the knife for. Just clean it up, do a little shaping, get that undercut worked in there by the hair. And yep, that's what we're doing. Bringing that chin down. Getting rid of that piece that wraps around by the face there. Get some nice clean slices in there. Picture seems pretty bright. And still taking the chin down. Just so you guys can see. Do that. We're pushing that face framing back a little bit more. Working that forehead back a little bit more. Getting those shadows cut in. Leveling out the eyebrows. He's not going to be happy. He's going to be a sad Bigfoot, Elvis Bigfoot. You should go over and, if you like whittling, you should go over and check out Dan Carpio, Carpio. Check out his channel. And the Wood Psych. Just carved a dinosaur. Go over and check out his channel. He does a lot of pine knots, and wood spirit faces and Buddha faces, and I think he just did an imp and a pine knot. He carved a dinosaur and some ponderosa pine. Wood Psych. And now we're working those eyebrows back in there. Yep, there he is. Like I said, this is part 1. There will be 2 parts to this. This will be basically all the carving except for the hair. And that will be a separate thing, doing the hair finish thing. So get ready for part 2. If I did it all in one video, it would have been like an hour and 20 minutes long. So I'm breaking it down into 2 separate videos. Again, you can see where I want that bottom jaw bigger. Bigfoot's got some big jaws. I had to zoom out because he's out of camera. And basically that's what I'm doing there. Recutting. And then coming to the inside and pop that chip out. Right there. Boop. Just like that. Poof. Just like that. We're delineating the side of the face from the hair. So that would be like his hair that's running down his back of his head and his face. And then we'll give him a scruffy beard. You know, fur, because he's got fur on his face. So it wouldn't be a beard, right? It'd be fur, I guess. Or whatever. Whatever you want to call it, that's what it'll be. Doing a little scoop cut with a knife alongside the nose. Right there, see that scoop? Cleaning up for those eye mounds. Getting the nose taken down up top. Using those different type. We'll be making a video on different types of cuts that you make with knives. Will probably be our next video. I'll just take a piece of wood and a knife and show you guys the different types of cuts that I use. Okay, now we have this is a little tiny diamond burr that we have in the Oz Plus, and we're basically shaping under that, getting that nose all shaped in there. So 1/32 shank or 3/32 shank diamond burr. I bought off Amazon. Got like 10 of them for $7. These guys are tiny, but when you're doing tiny faces, you got to have tiny burrs, and that's what we're doing. I need to get a new carbide flame burr, 3/32 shank carbide flame burr. It's only about 1/16 wide. Okay, now we're using the flex cut knife to round over the barrel of the mouth. Round over the barrel of the mouth. And then we're setting the smile lines in with that knife. See, if I would have made the nose smaller, I wouldn't have had to cut in so deep to pop it out. Of course, this guy is a caricature, so he doesn't have to be very proportional. And basically, whatever comes out is what the wood let it come out. And this is the saber-tooth coarse burr in green, 3/32. We have it loaded into the Apex Forge. I'm really liking this multi-chuck that's on here, because I can put 1/8 inch burrs in it. I can put these 3/32 inch burrs in it. The 3/32 inch shaft burrs. Chucks them right up. They don't run out. You know, run out is when you get wobble in your burr. It's called run out. It means it's running out of round. And I'm pretty impressed. Usually I'd have to change collets and go with the 3/32 collet in there, but this multi-chuck is working good, and it's small. Dremel sells a 3-jaw chuck you can put on your handpiece, but it's way bigger than this one. This really isn't that much bigger than the collet nut that you would normally use. Now we're cutting some snot holes in, changing out to a 1/8 inch ruby burr. It's a big ruby, probably about 80 grit. It's a little bit on the coarse side. Usually, if you see me using this tool, we're using the 3/32 collet, because I haven't had any luck finding the ruby burrs in 1/8 inch. I'm sure somebody makes them. I just haven't found them yet. And we're cutting the cheeks in. You can see this guy's got some really big cheeks. But when you got big jaws, you got to have big muscles to run them. And we'll split the eyebrows. We could just made him give him a monobrow there. Cutting the flares of the nose in a little bit. We're delineating them, make them stick out a little bit better. Rounding the end of the nose up, cleaning up the snot holes. All right, blow some dust into the vacuum. Okay, so now we're going to go put an eyelid in. You can see we just pressed straight in there across the top, and now we're bringing it up across the bottom because he's mad, so his eyes are a little bit squinted. And that three-way cut, 1, 2, and then take that chip out, the little triangle cut. Really, you use that a lot all over any place you want to give depth and shadow. I always use that three-way chip cut to get in there. And with eyes, it really works good because you take it out in both corners, and that already starts rounding the eye for you. And then you can do what I'm doing here. You can see we're working the bottom of the eye back on an angle down to the bottom, and the top of the eye up into the under the eyelid to round it. And I noticed that my one eye is a little bit bigger than my other eye, so I'm going under, doing a roll cut there. I'm going under this eye to increase the size of it. So you can always make your eyes bigger. So that's what I'm doing. I'm increasing the ball size of the eye here. And then I'm bringing on this side, I'm bringing that protrusion out a little. And we're going back and recutting the eye so that we can get more roundness to the eye. And we do a little scoop. We're doing that little scoop cut right there to bring the nose down a little bit to match the eye. Recut that three-way cut in the corner or inner part of the eye. You can see the eye is rounding very nicely there. I zoomed in. You can see we're pushing that upper part of the eye up into the upper eyelid. And the bottom part, we're just taking little chips off and pushing it down into the base of the eye. And you'll know where you got to round it over more. Like if it's starting to look a little too bulbous, you just take a little off the middle. Just very little chips here, removing. Change knives to the upswept knife so I can use the very tip of the knife to cut that in. That's what we're doing there. Just using the very tip, or reinforcing that upper eyelid. And now I'm straightening, I'm taking the sharp edges off that eyelid. Share, subscribe, and like. As we're coming to the end, stay safe, everybody. And we will catch you on part 2. Be awesome, carve something awesome.